Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Hera's Life and Journey. If you're new here, I'm Hera. I make videos about my life, my journey, my hobbies, and anything I find interesting. So let's go ahead and get started because this is an exciting. This is an exciting video because I have the 2025 planners and 2026 hobonichi planners, and we're gonna do a pen test. I already wrote everything down because I knew I was going to take forever and I wanted this to be a pretty straightforward, quicker-ish video unless I talk too much. So we're going to go ahead and do a head-to-head comparison, except for this one, the A6. I didn't get an A6 for 2025, but I do have a 2025 weeks and a 2025 cousin avec. And then I have a 2026 weeks, an English planner techo in A6, and a regular cousin in A5. And I have the pens that we are going to use for today's comparisons. So let me just bring them out so we can go through. I try to have as much variety as possible, but I am the kind of planner that once I find something that works for me, I don't really change it. There's no reason to fix something that's not broken. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to use throughout the years, what we've used, and how that fares in the new paper compared to 2025 paper. So we have a Muji Click Pen. These are hard to find now. I think you can order them online, but Muji closed down a lot of their US stores, so this is my stock from like 2023. And then the regular Muji pens, I have a 0.5 and 0.7. I don't really use 0.7 much. It's too thick for me, but I have it. We have two zebra mild liners here. These are the colors I'm going to be using a lot for 2026, which are going to be mild ink in beige and in creme. So those are our two mild liners, and these are the double side ones. So you have like a point and then like a bold tip, or that's what it's labeled as. And then of course we have my favorite pens. These are the ones you see me using all the time in any of my videos. These are the Zebra Sarasa Mark-Ons in 0.4 and 0.5. We have all three colors, blue, black, and red. We're going to try those out. And then, of course, because I make a lot of mistakes in planners and I always write something wrong and need plans to change, I have two erasable pens here. Both are Pilot. First one is a friction point knock in 0.4. It has, let's see, it has a thinner point, and this one is the friction Y in 0.5. And you can kind of see the difference in the points right there. All right, so both of them are in black ink, and we're also going to test how it erases. So that's why we have that. And then I have, of course, the hobonichi pens that come free. This is from 2025 since I'm already using this. Let's see what else. We have a Zebra Sarasa clip, also in 0.5, and this is part of the vintage colors. I don't remember what's called, but it's the blue one. And then we have our Tombos, which I use all the time as well. We have our usual colors. So we have 912, 772, and 65, 312, 837, and 850, which are colors I use a lot now. And we have 899, which I'm planning to use next year. It's like a brown brick red almost. So we have those. And of course, we have our fountain pens, our trusted Twisties. I have four. So I have a medium nib. This is the Eco Purple in medium with Nekoyanagi, Sailor Nekoyanagi. And then I have Eco Bronze in extra fine with Sailor Akamai. I like Sailor inks, if you couldn't tell. And then I have Twisby Diamond Clear 580 with Pilot Old Man Winter, Fuyu Shogun. And this is also an extra fine. And then I have Twisby Diamond 580 in Smoke Rose Gold. And this is a fine nib with Sailor Kitsune Biori. Yeah, that's the color. Of course, we have some that I don't really use on my hobonichis because I know they'll bleed through. We have the Zebra Click Arts in black and green, and then the Uni Pin oil-based ink marking pen in 01. These are meant for, I don't know about these ones. These are just markers, I think. But this Uni Pin is meant for like transparent flags where regular pens don't work. So I know this will bleed through. If it doesn't, I'd be very surprised. So those are all the pens we're going to use today. Plus, we also have some stamps, probably one or two that we're gonna use today. So we're gonna use this With Love stamp. I got this from Cute Things from Japan in 2022, pretty sure. And then we're going to use one of our ink pads. Oops. And that's going to be the Shachihata ink pads. We're gonna use the pink one because that is the one I want to use. So we're just gonna take this out. And we also have the regular schmegular shiny S4 black ink stamp pad. This is from Amazon from 2022. So those are what we're going to use today. I have everything here just in case I might have forgotten one or the other in one of the papers. But let's go and do a quick show of what 2025 was like. I was pretty fortunate with my 2025 papers. I didn't really have bleed through problems with what I use. However, I have a lot of feathering issues with my fountain pen inks, and you can see that here with the right there with the Twisby Eco Medium, especially. Like, it looks broad. Even the extra fine is pretty big. So that was my issue with the weeks. Same thing for the cousin, but this one actually, the issue was inconsistency. Sometimes I didn't have it, I had the perfect paper, and sometimes there were issues. So this is what it looks like. So if you, this paper specifically, it's not too bad, the feathering, but in some pages it does get pretty bad. So this is everything that we walked through earlier, and this is how it looks in the 2025 paper. Weeks has a lot more feathering. It's not too bad in this cousin page, this specific one, but remember I mentioned some pages is inconsistent. So we look at the back, and this is how it is. Shadowing is normal, and of course Unipin bled through, and the zebra click art also bled through. You can see that here. All right, same thing for the cousin. Everything is fine, shadowing, and then bleed through from the zebra click art and the uni pen. I would say the uni pen bled through a lot more on the cousin than the weeks. And this isn't the last page of the journal, so I know it's usually recommended not to do the last page. So this is a few pages after, so hopefully it's a good representation. I mean, it's handling the fountain pen pretty well. All right. And then, of course, I did some stamps. Okay, we have the With Love in the Amazon generic, and then the Shachihata here. And yep, no bleed through. I'm going to do that here because I forgot to do it. Let me just grab wipes. All right, I had to grab the wipes because I don't like when the ink stays in the stamp. So let's do the pink Shachihata. Oh, it's pretty good. course, let's do the black one. Go. And let's let that dry for a bit. And let's look at the back. Okay. It's just shadowing. I don't see any bleed through. So that's pretty good. So it looks like our only problem children are the click arts and the uni pin, which I expected. So that's pretty good. And no feathering here. Lots of feathering here. Now we're gonna go ahead and look at the 2026 papers. Spoiler, I love the 2026 papers. I think it's still not as great as the original Tomoe River paper from like 2021, 2022, but it's pretty good. So we have our strawberry weeks here, and I'm gonna take this out of the cover. And let's go into our, I made a mistake on where I did my swatches. I was supposed to do it in 2025 December, but I ended up doing it in 2026 December, so whatever, it's fine. Again, same pens and markers here. Let me actually add something. So this, the friction point knock in point 4 and the friction Y in point 5. And I'm adding this because I want to see how well it erases. Okay, really good there. And really good there. Oh, okay, I accidentally tried to erase the Muji pen, so that's not from the erasable pen, that's from the Muji pen. But you can see you can erase it and it doesn't leave much marks. And I always like that because some papers, they just don't work well with erasable paper. I mean, erasable pen. So no feathering. Look at how beautiful this Twisby Eco Medium is when it doesn't feather like it does here. Look at that. Look at that. And trust me, I tried to write small here, but the feathering wasn't letting me. Like, look how much I tried to write small. I started the T the same, and then because of how it was feathering, it just kept looking bigger, and I don't like it. Maybe that's not feathering. Maybe I just have bad handwriting, but I think it is because that doesn't happen here. All right, and then we have the Eco Bronze, Twisby Diamond, Clear, and Smoke Rose. I had a bit of extra ink in that bronze there, and no bleed through for the fountain pen inks, which are right here. These are the click arts and the uni pen. Actually, not too bad. About the same. So pretty good. I would say the shadowing is actually a bit better here. If I were to put them side by side, it's a bit better. And then we have the Amazon generic stamp and the Shachi Hata stamp. And no bleed through and pretty good for shadowing. So all good there. This is the week's 2026 paper. And then we have our A6 techo. This is the English planner right here. Ooh. Those bumps. Oh, it's probably from here. Oh well, whatever. Oops. No, I don't really want to do that, so let's do right here maybe. Okay. All right. This is the English techo. Instead of a grid, they have a dot. So pretty good. Let's see. What am I missing from here? I know I'm probably missing one. Let's try the 837, which is the red. Let's just do it here. And then our friction point knock is missing. And this one, Zebra Sarasa clip. Zebra Sarasa clip. And 0.5. I think that's it, right? All right, let's try to erase this. And yep, looks good. Let's look at stamps. Did we do stamps? No. We're gonna stamp this together. Can you tell the stamps were kind of like a last minute? Oh wait, I kind of need to test the stamps because I do use the stamps. Or well, I'm gonna try to use them more in 2026. All right, looks good. No issues there with the Twisby Medium Eco. With Nikoyanagi, you can kind of see the dual shading a bit better, actually. That's pretty cool. Like that. Love that. All right. Let's flip. Oh, really good, actually. Whoa. Wait. Let me make sure this is dry. Yes. That's really good, actually. The zebra click art, it didn't really bleed through. Can you tell? Yeah, it didn't really bleed through as much as it did here. Here, let me put them side by side. Okay, so this is the weeks 2025, and this is the English techo in 2026. The uni pin bled through, but nothing too crazy. And we love that. Oh, wow. That's actually surprising. Okay, so that's the English techo in A6. And then we have our regular A5 cousin, 2026 cousin. Shove it in there. Okay. This one I did here. Just because I didn't want to use this, because I might use this for a collection, since this is going to be one of my journals. And it's honestly pretty good. Same thing. Let's actually check. Oh, I need to do the friction. Can you tell why I prepared beforehand? Because if I didn't, we would be here for a while. We don't want that. Well, maybe we do, but it's more fun just looking at it. Okay, zebra. So that's the clip. 5 and stampy stamp. Stampy stamp. Stampy stamp. Oh, that's cool. All right. Okay, that should be the end of the stamps. All right, let's see. Let that dry a bit more. I did kind of shove it in there. You can kind of see it. Okay, nope. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Let me, while that's drying, let's grab this year's. Okay, for this year's, if you recall, zebra click art and the uni pin are the ones that bled through. This one actually had no issues, this test paper, but it was very inconsistent this year, if you recall. And this is this year. So the one in the foggy plate, the one in the right, this one is 2026, and this one is 2025. I'll say this is pretty good, very promising. Similar to the techo, the zebra click art didn't really bleed through. Lots of shadowing, but it didn't really bleed through. That's amazing. The uni pin did bleed through right here, but everything else pretty good. No bleed throughs, no feathering from the fountain pens, which is amazing. You can see the dual shading. That's always fun. Okay. The verdict is this year's paper is good. Again, I don't know about the inconsistencies yet, but this is very promising considering I'm going to be using a lot of the 2026 journals for 2026 journals. That's a spoiler. The 2026 planners as journals. So that's going to be fun. Let's take this out together. Because why not? Ah, it's so cute. I love this so much. The clear cover is from Midori. It's the Midori A6 and A5 notebook cover. It's not the Codex one. I did use a hair dryer to stretch it out because it does not fit without it. I really like the English techo. I wish they would do this for A5 as well. I really like this. All right, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know what you think. Have you gotten your 2026 planners? How is the paper? Have you checked how it's doing with your fountain pens, your regular pens, your highlighters, and anything like that? I'm always glad to hear, what everyone else's experiences are. Yeah, so have an amazing day. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.